In today's video, I want to share a new needle threader with you. Hi, I'm Kim Jamieson-Hirst at Chatterbox Quilts. Now, I like to do not hand quilting, but hand embroidery, and I'm always looking for a really good needle threader that's going to work with not just some of my chenille needles, my milliner's needles, but also with some of kind of the regular stitching needles that I use. And it's really helpful if it's got a cutter with it, so I don't have to search for my little scissors to cut my threads all the time. So what I'm looking at today is this 3-in-1 needle threader from the Gypsy Quilter. It's got a cutter with it, so it's very handy. It's the 3-in-1, right? So you can see it's got this type of needle threader, which is kind of a common one you see. This one's nice and sturdy, a little bit bigger than some of the other ones I have, which sometimes tend to distort and even break over time. So I'm hoping this one won't do that. Plus there's two little threaders on either side here for a little bit bigger needle and big needles, I guess. And then the cutting area is down through here. So it's like a rotary blade in there. And you can see there's 9 different slots that you can use to cut your thread. There's also cutting areas up here as well. Maybe there's not 9 down. Let's see. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 there and 2 more, so that's 9 altogether. All right, so no matter where you are on this needle threader, you're going to have a place to cut your thread. So let's take a look at it with some different types of needles and see how it works. So first I have a needle here that is kind of a regular sewing needle that I use, a little thicker than maybe you might be using. Definitely thicker than the quilting needles. I have some of these here with the little tiny eyes. Now this needle threader is not going to work with these tiny eyes. I could not get it to go through the eyes of these, so it's probably not going to work if you're using really small eyed needles. But for kind of regular needles, I think it works quite well. So let's try it out and see. So it's going to go through. I'm using the kind of normal one, and so you have to, push it in there to get it over. It'll push in or distort a little bit as you do that, and that's perfectly fine. Then let's see. Let's try this kind of regular stitching thread that I would usually use, and I'm just going to cut it off here because that's as much as I want to play with. There we go. That worked really easily. So you would just take your thread. So this is kind of the most difficult part for me, is getting the thread into the area because of my depth perception issues. So just give me a second. There we go. All right. So we got it in there, and then you simply pull the needle back off and you've got your needle threaded. Okay, so that works really well, right? Now we have these other bigger ones, and these work really well for like tapestry needles, chenille needles, crewel needles, again, hand embroidery. So let's try this one. It goes in there really easily. I can use a thicker thread. Let's take a look at this gold thread here, and you just hook it into that hook area. You're going to hold it together a little bit, and you're going to pull that out, and it's going to thread very easily. And then I can go, oh, I need about this much thread, so let's just cut that, and it cut that really easily too. So it worked with this. This is like a metallic kind of thread. This is actually Sizzle from Wonderful. So thicker thread and also metallic-y, so it's kind of stiff, and it went in there no problem. It cut it no problem as well. I also have Salem coming to help me. You can see how interested the cats are in this, right? You know what they're interested in. See, Victor's just going to take that right away and start sewing with it. No, you're not. Okay, so let's just get rid of that so we don't have to worry about it. It's great to have helpers in the studio, isn't it? Okay, let's take one of these milliner's needles. So this is a size 3 milliner's needle. So that has a much smaller eye in it. We're going to go back to this threader again, see if it's going to fit through that eye. And I'm pretty sure it will. There we go. Again, you just have to kind of push it through a little bit. It's going to distort, but it's going to come back. No worries. Let's try this. This is a pearl cotton. This is also from Wonderful. So we're just going to take this. We're going to cut off what we want to use there and do the same thing. We're just going to put it right in through there and thread that needle. No problem. So that's a fairly small eye on that milliner's needle, you can see. And it did that no problem. Now, if I had an even bigger needle, which actually, let's go back to this one here, the chenille one. I could use either the small one or the bigger one. The bigger one will fit in as well. So no matter what size eye you have, you're going to be able to use that, and you're going to be able to thread that needle no problem, especially with the help of Salem. Okay, let's get that in there again. Okay, gotta get my needle out of the way here. It doesn't help when someone's pulling on the other end of your thread, does it? There we go. All right, so there we go. and that's all ready to stitch. Okay, so now that we've got all that done, and we'll move all this thread out of the way, so temptation is out of the way, one hopes, from the cats. You can use this, like I said, for kind of, regular-eyed needles. I would not use it for the very small quilting needles or very small-eyed sharps. If you have them, there are other needle threaders that will work for that. But certainly for most of your needs, this will work really well, and it works great for the crewel needles, the tapestry needles, to thread that, and with the thicker thread as well. So whether you're using a kind of a regular stitching thread, or whether you're using something that is a little thicker like a pearl cotton or even metallics, this works really well. So if you're interested in getting this needle threader from the Gypsy Quilter, the 3-in-1 needle threader with 9 little areas to cut your thread, check up above or in the description below, because I'll put a link for it for you. Now before I go, I want to say a really big thank you and a shout out to my members of the Patchwork Pals membership. That is a YouTube channel membership that I have that you can join and help to support the Chatterbox Quilts YouTube channel through a very low monthly fee. They get early access to videos, custom emojis, and lots of other fun perks just for being a member. So click on the join button that you'll see below any of my videos, and you can get all the details and even become a Patchwork Pal member today. I've talked about using the 3-in-1 needle threader, but once you've threaded your needle, what can you do with it? Well, don't worry, I've got some ideas for you. Check out this video that has all the helpful information you'll need. And for more helpful quilting information, be sure to go to my website at www.chatterboxquilts.com.